7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. If you're from anywhere else, you know what time you got. I'm Craig Gauger, Mid-America Regional Director. I'm the host this evening. Our speaker tonight will be Mary Masterson. She's Extension Educator with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension in Behar County, Texas, which is greater San Antonio. So I will let her start then.
Muted.
Mary?
Muted. She's muted.
Sorry.
Hey,
Okay. Yes, hello. Sorry about that. This is what I do. I'm an agent in Bexar County, and I go to several locations and teach them how to save money at the store. I give them cheap and easy ways to have more access to fruits and vegetables through recipes and exercise, and give them any kind of encouragement I can to lead a healthy life. So that's how I met Henry. Right, Henry?
Yes. And I'm going to put up your slideshow here in a second.
Okay.
Okay, from the beginning, here we go.
Yes, this is one of the classes that I teach. Be Well, Live Well. It's a 4-week class. And one of the topics is being able to read the label. Do y'all read the labels when you go to the store shopping?
If there's something new I'm not familiar with, I do.
Okay. So a lot of times people read the labels for salt, how much salt we should have. Do you know how much salt you should have on a daily basis?
No.
Okay. 1 teaspoon of salt a day. And so that's 2,300 milligrams. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. So we need to try to read the label so that if we do overdo it on the salt, we'll know how much salt we should have for the rest of the day by having a balance, balancing your day.
Mary, if you just let me know when to flip the slides, I'll do it for you.
Okay, next.
This one or the next one?
The next one, please. Okay, so it's very important to know how to choose less sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars. So when you look at a nutrition label, the total fat that you see and all the little indents below it, like saturated fat and those kind of things, are all included in the total fat, right? Have you seen that? Okay, so this is a good tool for you to know how much fat that you should have on a daily basis. Okay, next. And of course, we've all heard from our doctors that good nutrition will help diet-related chronic diseases. And here they are: heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and some forms of cancer. So there's 4 different kinds of fat. There's saturated fat, trans fat, monopolysaturated fat, and the light oil fat. So we're trying to stay away from saturated fat, too much sodium, and added sugars. Okay, let's go. So can y'all see the nutritional facts label?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is the serving size of this container?
2/3 of a cup.
Right. So, and how many servings are in this container?
8.
8. So now we have dual labels, and one of the labels that is describes what each serving would be, and then the other label describes how many servings are in the container. So This is something that they came up with, and this is very important because people will take the entire container and think that it's 230 calories, but it's actually 2/3 of a cup is 230 calories. And then total fat is 10%, saturated fat is 8%. And so 5% of that 10% is saturated fat. That's what they're trying to say. The total carbs are 13%. I usually go by the daily value percentage because it's easier than grams. 5% is low, 20% is high. And then down here, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. Those you should try to reach 100 every day with those. But the ones above it, the sat fat, total carbs, and protein, they stand alone. You don't have to reach 100, but you should try to stay in the zone between 5 and 20 for those, 5% daily value and 20% daily value. Okay, next. Anytime you have a question, just let me know. Okay, and these are some of the things that we see on the label claim. Not regulated by the FDA. All of these things we see, right? They really don't mean anything. It's just something they put on there.
It's
Next.
some there to fool you and into thinking something.
Yes. Like on candy, you'll see gluten-free. Well, of course it's gluten-free. It's sugar.
It doesn't have wheat in it.
Right, weed. Okay, next. Let's see. Okay, what about serving size? Do you ever think about serving sizes? It's
I
not.
think I should cut mine down.
You need to bring yours down.
Yes.
There's nothing really scientific about serving sizes. It's just the actual servings that people eat. So they're not measuring it out. They're just saying this is normally what people would eat. This is the amount. So, if you were on a real strict diet, then you would follow like one serving of cheese is a cube, a 1 inch by 1 inch cube. That's one serving of cheese with the USDA sponsors. I should have told you that before. So everything I get is from the USDA and AgriLife. So your serving size, in America, we have a huge serving sizes when you go out, and really you need to get familiar with what your serving sizes are. Like if you wanted to have fish twice a week, or it should be the size of your palm, and same with chicken, any kind of chicken that you have. Okay, next. Okay, this is what I was talking about with the percent daily value. 5% is low. That's the ones on the right-hand side under the percentage. 5% is low in nutrients. You should aim more often for low saturated fat, sodium, and added sugar. 10% is moderate in nutrients, and then 20% or more is higher in nutrients. And you should aim for vitamin D, calcium, potassium, and iron. We know that, right? Our doctors have told us that. Okay, next. And it's pretty much the same thing telling you about saturated fat, less than 10% of your calories a day. So this is based on a 2,000 calorie diet a day. So 10% of that would be 200. So your saturated fat should be less than 10% of the calories per day. So just try not to get too much saturated fat. Same with sodium, 2,300 milligrams. Added sugar, less than 10% of calories a day. So 200 calories of sugar would be 10% of a 2,000 calorie diet, that you should be getting daily in calories.
And if you're sedentary, you maybe should go a little less than 2,000. But if you're really active, working hard, you could probably do more.
If you're sedentary, you shouldn't get more than 1,500 calories a day. Well, for men, it could be 2,000. For women, it could be 1,500. But we're not sedentary, are we?
Just in case people have friends that are sedentary.
Yeah. Well, according to the USDA and all of the other outlets, you should be getting 30 minutes of really burning calorie exercises a day where your heart is going kind of fast where you can't really talk. If you can't do it in 30 minutes, you should do it in 10-minute increments throughout the day. And also, they say, I heard on one of these workshops the other day that if you sit for more than 2 hours, it's like you smoked 3 cigarettes. So sitting for 2 hours is the new smoking cigarettes. Anyway, next. All right, and here's a little quiz. Which one would you choose? They don't tell you what it is, but what is the serving size per container?
Half a cup.
A serving size per container is 4.
Oh, I thought you meant serving size. I thought you said.
Yeah, so serving size is what, half a cup?
Yeah.
So there's 4 servings per container, so it's 2 cups, right? And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, we're looking at the percent daily value on the right-hand side. So do these have a lot of fat in them?
No, but a lot of salt though,
A lot of salt.
on the left.
Oh. Yeah, 14%. That's getting pretty high up there, isn't it?
Mm.
Also, it seems to have a lot of carbs. It has a lot of dietary fiber. And it has a lot of iron, 10%. That's pretty good. So this is just a typical comparison if you're shopping at the store or if you're looking for something to buy, and then this is how you would compare them, basically. Okay, next. Any questions about that?
Yeah, what is the product?
Oh, they don't tell you on this one. Yeah,
It's
they
the
don't.
unknown
Kinda good to
product.
know.
You want to know? Okay,
I-
maybe we can figure it
It
out.
would be
Let's see.
useful. It would be more useful than just seeing those facts.
Well, it has a lot of fiber. It has a lot of iron. It has some potassium, which usually fruits and vegetables have potassium. It has a lot of sodium, which is unusual. And it has 1% saturated fat. So I don't know. It just doesn't tell you what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Well, wait, so the better one is the one on the right?
Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry.
much less salt.
That's
one
the
with-
only difference. There's very little difference in the two of them except the salt.
Yeah, right.
Right. So,
And-
so the one with all the salt on the left would not be the great choice.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah. But I always want to point out how much serving size, how many servings per container, and how many calories, so that you don't think that the calories are all on the entire container, but it's how many servings there are per calories on the nutritional facts label. Okay,
Mhm.
next. Okay. We've reviewed it, the nutritional facts labels to help you determine which food products can be a part of the healthy eating pattern. So when I go to the store and I'm looking at bread, I look to see, there's a lot of sugar in bread sometimes, and I don't want sugar or sodium in my bread. What's a good way to avoid like sodium? Like as you grow older, sodium is a big culprit along with fat, but talking about sodium right now, what's the best way to avoid it, do you think?
Sodium?
Yes.
Don't need salt.
Well, one of the best ways to avoid all of that is just to cook yourself. Cook everything yourself.
Mm.
And just trying to cut back on those things is by making it yourself and just having once in a while treat going out as a treat.
And eat lots of fresh vegetables.
Yes, do you know how much fresh vegetables you should have on a daily basis?
As much as you can fill on your plate.
Right. So it would be 2 cups, 2 to 3 cups, really, of vegetables. They keep upping it. It used to be 1.5 to 2 cups. Now it's 2 to 3 cups. And vegetables would be 1.5 to 2 cups of vegetables a day, which would be like an apple, 13 grapes, and an orange would be about the right amount of vegetables to have a day, just as fruits to have a day, just as an example. And you should have 3 servings of dairy a day, all low fat, and about 1/2 cup each time, and then 3 to 4 servings of grains.
Hmm.
Yep. So it kind of takes the mystery out of it when you know about how much you should have a day, and then that could be your goal, you know. Okay, I think that's it, isn't it, Henry? Oh, here we go. Saturated fat. These are all the bad things about saturated fat. Reduces cognition, increases LDL cholesterol. Mixed dishes like lasagna or some kind of casseroles all have a lot of, why do you think they have a lot of salt? And I think it's because they're putting a whole bunch of canned things in there and mixing it all up with cheese and different things.
Salt's a preservative.
Yeah. Shift food choices to be low in saturated fat. So that would be lean meats, chickens. Don't forget your fish twice a week. If you don't like fish, you could take those, if it's okay with your doctor, those fish oil capsules. They're pretty big. Some people can't take them, but if you aren't able to take them, you can open them up and use it in your soup or on your salad. You won't even be able to taste it. Remember cod liver oil? When your parents made you take cod liver oil, it was for a reason, and it's to help your heart. So, okay, tips for improving your nutrition. Tips for improving your nutrition. Instead of butter, lard, shortening, coconut oil, and palm oil, which are all saturated fat products, you should choose canola, olive, sunflower, corn, and safflower oil. Do you like any of those other oils? Do you like olive oil?
Yes.
There's grapeseed oil, avocado oil, getting kind of pricey though. Instead of poultry skin, and they're talking about that marbled meat fat that goes through the, that marbled look is fat. Red meat, ground beef, sausage, bacon, organ meat such as liver and kidneys. To try, you guys probably already are using skinless trimmed meat such as white meat, chicken, turkey, pork chop, ground beef, sirloin, or fish.
Venison.
Venison is excellent, very lean. It's good. The oily fish like salmon, tuna, sardines are also good choices. So
Liver's not good for you anymore, or what? It used to be back in the day.
well, it's high in cholesterol.
Gives you a
Wow.
lot of iron though.
Yeah, it does. Maybe it's a sometimes food, maybe not eat it every week or something like that. Yeah, because the organ meat.
Mm.
Do you eat any other organ meats besides liver?
No.
Okay. And do we eat fried foods?
Nope.
You don't? That's good. So your cooking methods nowadays, we have the Instapot, which helps you cook things without the grease. Also, the air fryer is another way to cook something different. Some people have a hard time getting used to it, but if you read the directions, it should be pretty easy to use for you. But sometimes when something new comes out, you need to read the directions to make sure you're doing it correctly. Baking, broiling, roasting, or steaming. Does anybody have a favorite low-cal dish that they make? I'm trying to think of one too. I'm going to make one for you today. Okay, we're going to make cowboy salad, sometimes called black bean and corn salsa. Okay, so as you age, you don't need whole milk. Those are more for babies, toddlers, and young children. We need to be going down to 2% or 1% because there's way less fat. If you have a glass of milk, 8-ounce milk, and you have whole milk in it, half of that's going to be saturated fat. That's what we're trying to get away from.
Yeah, whole milk's generally 3%, unless it's Jersey cow, then it's 4%.
Really? Jersey
Yes.
cow is 4%?
It's the highest fat rate is Jersey.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Where are you at?
I live in Ohio,
Oh,
Southwest Ohio. The Young's Dairy that some people may know about used to sell fresh Jersey milk, not pasteurized, but now they tell them they had to pasteurize it all the time.
yes, because Louis Pasteur went through a big hassle to, people were dying of milk disease. You know, Lincoln's mother died of milk disease. It's when the cow gets infected, and then so is the milk. So Louis Pasteur is one of those that did the heating process and figured out how to heat up all the milk and get all of the contaminants out of it. So that was a big innovation. But now, sometimes when you go to these on the weekend to these food markets, you know how they have farmers markets. You'll get some hipsters in there telling you it's better to drink raw milk. But as maybe for young people it's okay, but there's a reason why the pasteurization process, you know, was invented, and that's why we do it. So I would suggest for older people especially not to do any of that, drink that, because as you get older, people get immune diseases, and it's harder for them to fight off bacteria because they don't have the same bacteria fighting enzymes in their stomach like they used to.
Some people's immune system is compromised.
Right, it's compromised through, you know, an autoimmune disease or something like that. Most people have autoimmune diseases nowadays. So it's better not to drink raw milk or really eat raw meat or, you know, sushi, things like that. Some people just get hot dogs out of the refrigerator and just eat them. And that's not good for your digestive tract, or there could be bacteria in there when it's not cooked, you know?
Mhm.
So anyway, it's probably everything your grandmother told you is what I'm telling you. Eat your fruits and vegetables. So anyway, let's see, sodium. Oh yeah, we did that one. Is there another one? Okay, I think we did that one. Did we?
No.
Okay, go back. Okay. Tips for improving your nutrition. Well, first you have to think about what you want to change, and think about how you're going to change it. And if you really want to make it happen, you need to write it down and set a goal. And that's the best way for it to actually happen. So canned, packaged, or ready to eat foods have a lot of sodium in them. They have a lot of fat in them a lot of times, not canned, but ready to eat foods. So instead, choose food that's labeled as reduced sodium, low sodium, or no salt added. Instead of sauces and condiments and other flavored packages, which are basically either salt or sugar or both, I mean, they taste good. Try using fresh herbs. Or the Dash. Have y'all seen the Dash products instead of salt, the salt replacement?
Mhm.
It used to be called Mrs. Dash, but now it's Dash, for the Dash diet. And that's a very good diet for low sodium. food. Oops, what happened? Here it
I
is.
also, I also add turmeric to my red sauce. If
Oh,
you
that's
get
good.
joint situations, turmeric is good for that.
Has it helped you?
Yes,
Good.
staying active helps. If I sit around too much, I don't feel as good.
Yeah, it's true. And pepper helps your body absorb turmeric.
Hmm.
So, and then there's mindfulness, which just sitting in front of a TV, eating seeds, salted nuts, and salted popcorn, or something like that. You have to kind of be mindful to know how much you're eating and what you're eating. So instead, maybe you can, when you are eating in front of a TV and you just want to play around and watch TV and have something to munch on, you could have unsalted almonds, walnuts, or other unsalted nuts. You can get used to unsalted a lot of times, and because really a lot of those peanuts are loaded down with salt, you know.
My favorite is fresh cashews. It's hard to get in the States because they want to salt the heck out of them. But in the Middle East, I could get cashews that were not salted, and they have a really great flavor without all that salt.
Yeah, they are a great flavor. And do you have any like bulk grocery stores?
Sometimes the Asian markets, you can get them sometimes.
Oh, the Asian markets. Yeah, there you go.
We
Good.
have a lot of different ethnicities in Greater Toledo, so there's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
opportunity.
Good. My mother was from Ohio. Just a sideline. Anyway, let's talk about added sugar. So that's another problem area for people in general in our society, isn't it? It's a lot of sugar. It can gosh, I just don't know what to say about this. That you don't need those calories on just sitting there eating candy. And then if a lot of people tell me that they crave sugar, they crave something sweet and they don't want to eat it, but they're just craving it. So what AgriLife in the USDA would recommend is to, if you had a balanced diet of fruits and vegetables and lean meats, and you were satisfied that way, you wouldn't eat that much sugar. But a lot of older folks don't make, not all of them, but a lot of them don't make a balanced meal, so they go for the sugar because that's what, when you get hungry, that's what you want is salt, sugar, or fat on your tongue. And also when people get into some kind of a food emergency by running out to the store or running out and doing errands or visiting friends without eating, they get into a food emergency to where they would just want to drive through instead of eating sensibly. So anyway, the natural, okay. So you can get sugar, but you can get it from like pineapple, with pineapple in its own juice, delicious. Watermelon, any of those fruits could be your sweet for the day. Most people, you know, like they tried to outlaw the big gulp because it was so unhealthy for people. I don't know if they ever did or not, but that's like a big container of sugary drinks.
I think New York did. They said you could limit the size of beverage you could sell at a place because they had so much diabetes and so much people being overweight because of all the sugar.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
eat a lot of fresh fruit. That's where I get. I don't add sugar to anything, but I eat a lot of fresh fruit.
Oh, that's
Year-round.
good. And a lot of people say that they can afford fruits and vegetables, but the ones at the store, when there's an abundance of them, like right now, I guess it's apples and watermelons are going out, but I saw a lot of apples today at the store. They're on sale for 98 cents a pound over here. So if it's something, there's a whole lot of it at the store, then it's going to be in season, and that's what's going to be on sale. So if you stick with what's in season and on sale is what you should be eating instead of going for some type of exotic fruit that, you know, is $6 a pound or something like that. So good. It's good to eat as many vegetables and fruits as you can. There's a guy here at the office that was living on fruits and vegetables and grains, and he lost 200 pounds doing that. But anyway, we're going to shift towards foods without added sugar, which is something hard to do. You really have to concentrate and look at the store, go to the store and look at the labels to get food that does not have added sugar. But
And there's lots of names for sugars that will fool people.
it does, and it usually ends in OSE, like sucrose, glucose, like that. Or it'll say syrup,
High fructose, corn
high
syrup.
yes, all that
Ah.
kind of stuff. Yeah, there are a whole lot of different names for sugar, but if you look under the carbs, that's where the sugar is. And if it doesn't say sugar and the carbs are high, then you know it has a lot of sugar in it. Okay, next.
You got 20, you're at 17, you got 22 slides.
Okay. I think we did this one, didn't we? Oh, no. Did we?
No.
Okay. So additional tips for improving your nutrition. Soda and fruit, instead of soda and fruit flavored drinks, which are the cheapest ones, right? Choose water, fat-free or low-fat milk, unsweetened tea, or 100% fruit juice. Sometimes, when it's really hot, we drink a lot of water in Texas, and my husband and I have been tired of just drinking water constantly. So we add a little fruit juice to a big container of water just to change it up a little bit, like lemon, lime, and, things like that. Orange juice could be added to it just a little bit. Instead of ice cream or frozen yogurt, frozen fruit without the sugar. So that means you're going to have to get some fruit in your blender and put it in containers yourself and eat it. Or a lot of people just freeze strawberries and then in the summertime eat them. Okay. Instead of sugar sweetened cereals, cookies, jams, and jellies, oatmeal. Do y'all like oatmeal? It's a very good source of protein, and it's a very good source for your whole grains. With fruit, I don't know why they say graham crackers. Oh, graham crackers are another one. Plain animal crackers are 100% fruit spreads because they are low in fat and sugar. That's why they say oatmeal with fruit, graham crackers, plain animal crackers, or 100% fruit spreads. Instead of flavored milk or sweetened yogurt, choose unflavored low-fat milk or low-fat plain yogurt with a fresh fruit topping. Do y'all like yogurt? There's been a lot of talk of Greek yogurt at our local HEB stores that we have in San Antonio. They have their own store brand, and the Greek yogurt is very good, and it's low fat. The Greek yogurt is strained longer than regular yogurt, so there's more protein in it. So that's why Greek yogurt has made such a strong comeback, or strong on the market. Okay, next. Okay, this is everything that we've been talking about. Has anybody shifted more towards plant-based food? It's really been coming up into our society everywhere you go now, and everybody's a vegan. Seems like a lot of people are, more than what they used to be. It looks better at the store than what it used to be too. They've come up with new innovative ideas. People are going back to garbanzo beans, have made a big comeback. Garbanzo beans and cabbage, because they're the two that are really have a lot of cabbage has a lot of protein and all the nutrients in it, and garbanzo beans and eggplant have been taking the place of meat. Yeah. So try to use the nutritional facts label to help you make informed decisions, lower or substitute certain foods in high saturated fats. Okay, that's everything that we've been talking about. And then ask yourself, goal setting. you would just have to figure out, I think we know where we're going wrong in our diet, but it seems like it keeps happening and we don't know why. So maybe if we can target it, you can have a strategy on how to attack it and be successful. Which eat well area do I want to work on? Does that mean that could be something like maybe I need to drink more water in the daytime? Or it could be something like maybe I'll cut out that donut I have every morning and try to exercise instead. Or whatever time of day that you know is a trigger for you, maybe you could figure out to do something else during that time of day for you not to fall into that same trap, just like reassigning yourself somewhere else or doing something else. But anyway, your goal setting could say, I will drink X amount more water a day, and that could be your goal. Or you could say, I am going to walk half a mile today, and I'm going to do that 2 times a week. So if you make it real specific, you're more apt to reach your goals. Okay.
Found if I stay busy and drink lots of water, it keeps me from snacking. And snacking will get all of us, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
Calories you don't think about.
The snacking is fun. So yeah, it's a mindfulness. It's a mindfulness approach. These are some websites that we have, if you would be interested. Dinner Tonight at Texas A&M University.edu is very good. If you get onto their mailing list, they'll send you recipes about once a week, and they're really good recipes. A little bit pricier than what I usually make, but they are really good, and you can always replace some of the expensive items. And then What's on Your Plate? This is the National Institute of Health. And it's just different types of recipes that actually, if it's a governmental recipe like this one, and also with the choosemyplate.gov, these are ones that are for seniors more or less because they're cheaper. Well, I don't say cheaper, inexpensive, easy, and nutritious. So there's only 3 to 5 ingredients to everything with choosemyplate.gov. Okay. Oh, they're showing you getting a taste for independence. This is a corn and garbanzo bean recipe with pork. Is on the slow cooker. Wonder why that's in there. Go on. Oh, they're just telling you that you could do everything in the slow cooker if you don't want to cook. Just throw everything in there. Okay, and I think that's about it, actually. Do we still have time for the recipe?
We're on, is this for a whole hour, Henry?
Yes, well, we still got the walk app presentation.
Oh, there's another presentation. So how much time do we got with Mary?
Well, she's past her time, but the whole segment
Oh.
goes to an hour. So I mean, if you want to cut the other segment a little short, it's up to you.
Well,
How long
that's
does
okay.
how long does this food demonstration take?
Oh, about 20 minutes, I guess, or
Oh.
15. Yeah, that's
That'll be
okay.
over our time then, I guess.
Okay, just let me show it to you at least, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Can y'all see it?
Yep.
How about now? So, hang on. Yes. Hang on, guys. Where is it?
Well, it's aimed at you right now.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here it is. I see it.
But they can look
Okay.
at that recipe on the slideshow, or
I sent it to Henry, but I don't think it was on the slideshow. Okay, so this was it. I was going to use corn, black beans, avocado, cilantro, red bell pepper, red onion, tomatoes, and limes. So this is a total vegan type of recipe. And I hope that next time that when we're together, that I can do something like this for you, and maybe not talk so much, and maybe just show you everything on how to cook a very well-balanced meal. Okay?
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mary. Look
Okay.
forward
It
to
was
some,
nice
anything
meeting
new
you.
later on.
Thank you, Craig. I really appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Do you think I did okay?
You did great.
So who's up next, Henry?
The Jeff Giddings, chair.
Oh,
of-
the app.
Yes.
Jeff, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Thanks, Craig.
I got it.
I just wanted to give an a status update on the app. As of the last special board meeting a couple of months ago, the board approved moving forward with the app, the walking app. To that end, we've hired a consultant to help us write the detailed requirements for this app. And we are well into defining what the requirements for this app are going to be. Hopefully in the next, I'll say 2 weeks, that we can have at least a draft set of requirements for distribution to various people to go through this. And then once we have the detailed requirements and approved, we may, I'll probably send it out to all the board members just to keep them informed. And after that, we will then put together the request for quote that will go out to the developers, at which point we will have to give them some time to respond. I'm not quite exactly sure how long we're going to allow the quote period to be. And then once that is, once we have the quotes in hand, we will evaluate the different quotes. We'll then probably present the top 2 bidders to the board for a selection or a non-selection of we will not go forward with the app at all. That'll probably be at the next general regular board meeting. So hopefully by then we'll have everything and we can then move forward, hopefully with the development. We anticipate having a beta version available, hopefully, for the ABA National Convention in Las Cruces at the end of April. We have to understand that this is an extremely aggressive schedule. So if we do have an app available, it will be limited functionality, let's say, and possibly very buggy. We'll see how it all goes if we move forward with it. That is my status update. Henry, do you want to add anything?
No, I just wanted to introduce Debbie, who's also joining us. If there's any questions for her, she's helped us put the business plan together. But no, thanks for the update. I really want to see if there were any questions from our audience.
Okay. We'll open it up for questions to the audience. Unmute yourself and then state your name and your question, please. Oh, dead
No question.
silence. Wow.
I think
This-
has his hand up.
Somebody has a hand up.
He did a minute ago, Steve
Steve.
Andridge.
Yeah, Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, just a suggestion for whatever we show at the, you kind of only get one shot at this, whatever we show at the convention.
Yeah.
And it's obvious to you guys anyway, but I'll just say it real quick. Maybe just show screenshots for the things that aren't quite baked yet, but at least they'll see what it's gonna look buggy app. So that's another way to do it.
That's a good suggestion. Thank you. Anybody else? Wow. Okay, I think I'm done.
Thanks, Jeff. What else do we have on tap, Henry?
That was it.
Oh,
Those two
hey,
topics.
we got 15 minutes.
So, hey, this is Bob from Indiana. I have a question for Jeff or Henry. A few months back, we had the young lady from down there in Texas speak about the walking app. And she had mentioned that it would be costing us about $60,000 up front to go through and get it operational. Does that look like it's going to be true for what we're doing now?
To try to answer your question, Bob, and I'll get to you and let you answer, Henry. When we formalize and finish the detailed requirements, we'll have a much better idea of what we think it's going to cost. And at that point, we will probably be talking with Debbie again and seeing which of the requirements we can lower on the priority. So we will have a prioritized list of requirements, which are the absolute must-have for the launch. And after that, then, and we'll try to get that list of requirements to fit within that $60,000 budget. Henry, you want to add anything?
Well, thanks, Jeff. I'd like to defer to the young lady who was actually with us on the call. She, if you could maybe speak about the proposed development strategy or structure to bring that cost down to, the range that we're kind of talking about. Obviously, it depends on the features, like Jeff said, but Debbie, would you like to speak to that?
Well, again, like we had talked about on the last meeting, I think there's several ways to skin this cat, if you will. And so we're going to look at the most effective way to make that happen. And we're currently, or what we're going through the requirements doc now to see what functionality and what all we need. And if we can make this go into a hybrid SaaS and custom development project, then I think that's going to be the most effective way to do that and keep costs down. And then it's going to allow us to have a very high functioning app at the beginning, more so than we would if we were just doing straight custom development. So that's what I think we're going to try to look for when we're trying to select a development partner.
Can you please explain SaaS?
So the easiest way to explain it is like there's a lot of companies such as, like, let's say Disney or American Airlines or Google or one of the TV channels or something. They've built all this custom development, and so they've paid for it. So a lot of times the developers will come to an agreement with the with those companies that paid for the custom development. And they'll say, hey, can we use your base code, not in anything competitive, but use that base code to create something for our other customers. And if you do that, we'll give you a discount, let's say, on what we've built. And so they'll use that kind of skeleton structure of code, and they'll take that and we'll be able to repurpose it and configure it to what our needs are. For instance, I mentioned Disney. Like, I work with a developer that works with Disney, and we're using code that Disney developed to do gaming for another app. And so we're not having to start from scratch. We're actually, instead of starting from scratch, we're using a box cake mix. That's what we're doing. So that's kind of, I guess, the best way to describe it.
Thank you.
Hope that makes
Bob,
sense.
does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Feel free. Any question?
Mike Schwenke has a question in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, on the chat, as an AVA walker, what will I see with this app?
As an AVA walker, what you will see, hopefully, is all of the walks that are currently on the OSB. Now, I'm going to preface that with, we still have to make an agreement with all of the clubs to be able to use their trails, their walk events, their walk trails on this app. So I'm hoping that we will have 100% participation, but I also expect that it will not be 100%. So I'm confident that we will get in the high 70s into the 80% participation, but we probably won't approach 100%. So the thought is that anything that you can do now on the OSB, you'll be able to, or very much everything that you can do on the OSB now, you'll be able to do with this walk app. In addition to that, one of the things that we're discussing and putting into the requirements is to be able to define and sanction traditional events and have those show up on this app as well. So, which is a big step forward from the OSB, which does not have that capability right now.
So the clubs that don't want to participate, people will still have to print out their walk directions from the OSB site, or they won't know where they're going on the walk.
The OSB will not shut down when the walk app launches. I'll give you that. It will remain there for a long time while the walk app is proceeding down, in a parallel path.
Can I add on that, Jeff?
Yes.
So for the AVA walkers, the goal is that you would have all the similar features on your mobile app to utilize if you want, or you could still utilize the OSB. But one of the main goals of the app is also to go after the bigger fish, if you will. So we're trying to get everybody else to come walk with us, everyone that is outside of the AVA. So if you're an AVA member, it's going to be an added plus, another benefit to your package of being a member. But we're really trying to engage all the other walkers that walk regularly but aren't walking with us. And so we hope that it would help promote events, increase participation, et cetera. And there's other features that don't exist on the OSB that will exist on the walk app as well.
Thank you, Henry.
I have some questions. Can I ask them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one is, I ride a bike, and there's something called Ride with GPS. It's
Yes.
an app, and
I am familiar with it.
Okay, and you have to pay like $60 a year. So will this app be something like that where you're going to pay a fee every year? That was one question. The second question I had to do with, will this app cover anything in biking or in swimming? Those are my two questions.
To answer your question for number one, currently the thought is to have a subscription model for this app. That when you download this app, you will pay a yearly subscription fee of approximately $50 to $60. We haven't set that price yet. AVA associate members will get a discount on that price. That is one of the thoughts currently. We will have any bicycle event or any swimming event that is currently on the OSB will also show up on this app. Is that sufficient, Kim?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. We still have 4 minutes. Anybody else?
Mike has another question in the chat.
Yes.
It says, is the All Trails app part of this efforts or it's separate?
All Trails is a competitor to us. So it is independent and separate. It's not that we're not going to borrow a lot or emulate some of the look and feel of All Trails, because it is the big horse in the pond, so to speak, or the big fish, the whale, I would say. So we will have our own distinct look and feel, but it will have somewhat the similar capabilities and hopefully more enhanced capabilities that we can steal some subscribers from All Trails to come to us. I hope that
And another
answered that
one
question.
says,
Yep.
when the app goes live, will OSB always be offered?
For the foreseeable future, it is my intention that both will be offered.
Are there any more questions anybody has? We're almost out of time. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and thank Jeff for giving his information and Mary her information earlier. Our next webinar is the 21st of September, or excuse me, 18th of September. I do not know the subject for the 18th. Henry, do you have that?
No, not at this point. It probably,
Okay.
well, I just say, well, we will probably have a little presentation on the convention walks. We're getting close to that. I think we got them
Okay.
all pretty much nailed down, so.
But it'll be advertised in email or some fashion so people will know ahead of time.
Correct.
Well, we have 2 minutes left, so unless there's nothing else, I guess that's it. I appreciate everybody that came. So get out there and walk, especially
Thank you,
Henry.
Craig.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you,
Thank you,
Henry.
guys. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.